Guys, I'm back. I know it's been a little over a week since my last video. A lot's been going on, and I just got a little caught up in some stuff. So, I apologize for my 3 subscribers, 2 of which are family. Thanks, um, for the delay. Anyway, so this past week was kind of interesting in the sense that there were some family things, personal things going on that I really didn't get to process and address until pretty much yesterday and today. Um, so, but today's focus, I wanted to talk a little bit on the subject of not being good enough, not feeling good enough, and I'm going to give you a little bit more of what's been going on in my life that relates to that topic, specifically with my impending divorce and my relationship, my last relationship. So, anyway, so here we go. In terms of insanity, I took a couple days off, but I got back into it this morning, and I'm spending the rest of the day relaxing because my body was a little confused. I skipped 2 days in a row and because of health stuff and just overall exhaustion. But it was good. It was good for me to get that break and not feel like I was completely dead all weekend. So, yeah. Anyway, not feeling good enough. So for those of you who don't know, or don't know the story, I was married in April of 2016 to a man that I had been dating for 3 years. And the first 3 years were amazing, fantastic. We lived together for about 2 of those years. 2 of those years before we got married. And a lot of life changes happened. So, as life happens, I mean, we were 25 when we met, and we just, it just clicked, it worked, and we had a lot of similar goals and similar ideas of what we wanted out of life, and at the time, it was wonderful. So, unfortunately, skip forward a few years and a few job changes and moving changes and life occurrences, we ultimately had a lot of issues to work out because I had certain ideas of what I wanted my life to look like, and he had different ones all of a sudden, or maybe not all of a sudden, but we had different ideas of where we wanted our life to go and what we wanted to do with that life and how we wanted to spend it. So, unfortunately, that resulted in some infidelity on his part. And some of you don't know, but I only found out about the infidelity last fall. Last summer in 2017. Oh my God, I can never remember the dates. And it had been going on for about 9 months at that time. And which I didn't know. And a lot of depression and anxiety on both of our ends was, there was a lot of different factors that played into this, and unfortunately, after trying a second time, he decided that he was going to keep doing what he wanted to do, including being unfaithful. So, after the second time, I still went back to him because he wanted to still try and work on it, and then finally, this May, or this June, I decided that I needed to leave, because it wasn't the right fit, or not the right fit. I deserved better, and it took me a long time to realize that I did deserve better. There was a lot of emotional abuse, there was a lot of gaslighting, there was a lot of blame put on me specifically, and I took it at the time because I wanted to do everything I could to make it work, and unfortunately it wasn't good enough, and that's not my fault. I was in a very fragile state. I felt completely dependent on my husband at the time. I was not working. There were a lot of other issues that came up in our relationship prior to us separating, and you know, all of that takes a toll, and it destroys you. It destroys you to a point, not physically, really. I mean, mentally and emotionally. It destroys your hope. It destroys your positivity. It makes you feel like nothing. And I kept thinking, hey, maybe he'll switch back and, realize what he's doing and try to get help and figure out what he needs to be happy. And it just never happened. And I think that so many of us work so hard to make things work with someone we love, and ultimately it doesn't pan out sometimes. Or we stay in a relationship because we don't feel like we deserve anything better, or we feel like we'll never find that again. And maybe I won't. I don't know. I hope that's not the case, but it feels like that at the time. And I just want to let you guys know that if you never feel like you're good enough, you don't feel like you can be enough for somebody, that's not your fault. That's theirs. That's on them. If they act like you're not good enough, that's not you. Because you are more than you can imagine yourself to be. We're all our biggest critics, and we all suffer feelings of insignificance and, lack of self-worth. And as someone who's always been pretty independent and pretty confident for a lot of my life, for the most part, this was the earth shaker for me. I stopped feeling like I knew who I was anymore. I still don't really fully know, but again, that's a really loaded question for anybody who really knows who they are. We all change every day. We all grow every day. Hopefully grow. Change is inevitable. Growth is optional. That's probably my favorite quote. But my point is, I am finally ready to understand and respect myself enough to know that I did everything I could to be happy and be healthy in my relationship, and unfortunately it wasn't meant to be. And I got some more closure this weekend. Maybe not so much closure, but the final nail in the coffin, basically. So I've been dealing with that, and that's been very difficult because you picture your whole life with somebody, and then poof, that whole future just disappears with one decision that someone decides to make, and it is truly heartbreaking. Like I said before, I'm an open book, and as you can probably tell, I've been crying, but I kind of wanted to do this video this way because my other videos have been very positive and a lot different, and I just wanted to kind of show the contrast, because I can feel like this now, and maybe later on I'll be, okay, and I'll feel happy and laughing with someone, or I'll be talking with someone on Messenger and I'll be joking around, but deep inside I'm dying and I'm breaking, and I don't have the energy or the emotional capacity to deal with anything. So this is a snapshot of a bad day for me. I guess not bad, but an off day. So my plan is to take a break, relax, and just, focus on getting ready for the week and getting my mental and emotional energy up, because I needed this day, and you need time to feel. You need time to process and be sad and cry and scream and be angry. It's just a part of human nature, and if we don't allow ourselves to do that, then we are cutting ourselves off from, processing and moving on, and it's so important. Everyone has their own way of coping, and I don't judge anybody for their specific ways. For me, I prefer to cuddle up with my cat and watch shows or movies in bed and not worry about anything. So, escaping to the TV is pretty much my go-to. So that's what I'm going to do today. But I just wanted to let you know that never think you're not good enough. And if you do think you're not good enough, it will pass. And it's not really you, it's somebody else who is projecting onto you. Because you can do whatever you want. You can be whoever you want. There is no stopping you from turning around tomorrow and deciding, I'm gonna start getting healthy. I'm gonna start opening up to people I love. I'm gonna start accepting love into my life. And I have been very lucky to find people that accept me for the crazy and sometimes irritating person I can be. Maybe more than sometimes irritating. I can't be grateful enough for that. And this weekend showed me a lot of that again. And it's something that you have to find in your life and around the people who matter to you. And make sure you appreciate them before they're gone. Sorry. There's only so much time. And I'm learning that it's very important. So, before I start crying more, I'm going to get off now, but love to all of you, and I hope that something I've said has resonated with you and makes you think or feel something different, better, right? Have a good rest of your weekend, and I'll be back later this week or next week. We'll see. Bye.